SEO is a never-ending process. There's always something new to improve, there's always something to optimize, always a problem to fix on your website. This is especially true for the technical side of SEO. So in this video, I want to talk through the regular things that you need to be doing at least once a quarter to improve your website's technical SEO performance. Now, I am recommending at least quarterly checks for these factors, but if your website's more active, then perhaps a monthly check makes more sense for you. Regardless of the frequency, whether monthly or quarterly, there are 5 key technical factors that you need to be checking on your website. The first of those factors is 404 not found errors. As you update content, as you change images, as you remove old pages, you're going to inevitably create 404 not found errors on your website. Things are going to break. This could also happen as a result of releasing some new features on your website. You add a bunch of new plugins to WordPress, and they end up breaking a bunch of old plugins, and that creates a bunch of 404s on your website. You need to know about those. You need to check for those. A few 404s aren't going to be that big of a deal. They aren't going to hurt your SEO performance, but a lot of 404s can. So the best practice is to routinely identify and address these errors. If you want to know how to find 404 not found errors on your website, you can check out a video we did here on Elementive's channel talking all about the different tools you can use and the different methods you can use to locate those 404 errors. Next, you want to remove and revise any low-quality content contained on your website. Low-quality content can happen in lots of different ways. Yes, you can just end up with a bunch of bad pages that somebody added intentionally to your website. You can also end up with spammers who somehow exploited a forum or a comment section to generate a bunch of low-quality bad content. You might have a piece of code that generated thousands or tens of thousands of blank, empty pages on your website. Whatever the cause, you don't want bad content to ruin your good content and hurt your SEO performance. Each quarter or each month, however often you're doing your tech SEO audit, you want to really actively seek out this low quality content. Find every instance of it on your website and prune it out. Get rid of it in every way you possibly can. But as you go through and you're looking for bad content on your website, remember that it's not just thin or low quality content. It might also be old or outdated content on your website that you want to find. And you want to focus on that low quality or outdated content and see if there's a way that you can revise that. Maybe you can take a blog post that's 10 years old at this point and beef it up and improve it and revise it and make it good again. That way you can expand how much good content you have along with getting rid of any bad content that might exist on your website. The next task is addressing errors that are contained in your website's XML sitemap. XML sitemaps are often neglected. Once they're set up to run automatically, many people and many SEOs never think about them again. But XML sitemaps, like everything else in SEO, are not a set it and forget it task. You have to routinely check your XML sitemap to make sure it's accurate. Improving the quality of the XML sitemap can have noticeable impact on Google's ability to crawl the website. To make the XML sitemap as useful as possible, the pages listed in the XML sitemap need to be valid pages that a search engine can potentially index. That means to make XML sitemaps as useful as possible to your SEO performance, you want to make sure that it's only telling robots about the most important, the highest quality pages contained on your website. Each quarter then, you want to check to make sure that your XML sitemap does not list URLs to pages that redirect somewhere else, that return an error message, are duplicates or near duplicates of other pages. Pages that contain low quality or thin content should not be included. Pages that contain no index statements or disallow statements should be removed from the XML sitemap as well. Basically, if there's anything that you don't want bots crawling or indexing, don't put it in your XML sitemap. The XML sitemap should reflect the best your website has to offer. Next, you want to test and optimize your website's speed. If you need help measuring your website's speed and performance, check out our other video all about the different metrics that you need to pay attention to when it comes to analyzing your website's speed and performance. Each quarter, you want to test the speed of your website's top pages. And when I say top pages, I mean top organic pages. Identify the pages that have the best potential to rank in search results, or identify the pages that already perform well in search results and the pages we want to make sure continue to perform well in search results. After you've run those speed tests, you want to know not just what the metrics are, what was your total load time or whatever. What you want to really understand is where you have room to improve. Is your biggest opportunity improving images? Is your biggest opportunity removing third-party scripts? Do you need to work with your hosting company to improve connection speeds? Wherever it is, what you're really trying to get out of the audit isn't just knowing what your speed metrics are, but knowing where you need to focus to improve those speed metrics. As you go through and run the various speed tests, it's helpful to record the load times each quarter, so that way you can compare those speeds to prior tests and see what's changing. Are things getting better? Are things getting worse? If they're getting worse or getting better, why are they getting better? Why are they getting worse? What do you need to do based on how things are trending with your website speed? Another recommendation is you want to test the speed of key competitors' websites and make sure that you aren't just fast, but make sure that you're faster than everybody else in your industry. Maybe you load your website in 1.5 seconds. That's pretty good in a lot of industries, but it's not good if all of your competitors load their websites in 1 second. The next task is cleaning up Canonicals, internal links, and redirects. What Canonicals, redirects, and internal links all really get to is how you are describing your website structure. Let's walk through an example. Let's say on your website, your About page's URL is /about, but your main navigation links to the About page as about-us. Sure, about-us maybe redirects over to /about, but you're sending two different signals here. In your internal link, you're saying that your About page is about-us, but your actual page is /about. And maybe this gets worse. Maybe on the About page, where it's /about, maybe the canonical tag says that the actual URL is about-company-name. And maybe about-company-name, stated in the canonical, actually redirects to about-us, which redirects over to about. Now all of a sudden you're sending a very confusing signal to Google. Which URL is actually correct? You're telling them lots of different things. This can become really confusing, and if you have a lot of instances where your canonicals, your redirects, and your internal links disagree and are stating different URLs, you're going to really confuse bots and potentially harm your ability to perform in search results. So, at least once a quarter, you need to step through and make sure that your redirects are all pointing in the same direction as your internal links, and that all of your canonicals agree with that. So to recap, the first thing you want to pay attention to in your audit is you want to fix 404 errors. Next, you want to remove any low-quality content, including looking at outdated or old content to see if you can improve it. You want to address any errors in your XML sitemap, and make sure that your XML sitemap is really presenting the best quality URLs on your website. You also want to pay attention to your website's speed and performance. And finally, you want to make sure that you're correctly and consistently communicating your website's structure. If you need help with any of that, you can check out my book, Tech SEO Guide, which walks through all these different areas, and a lot of others, talking through the things that you need to do to improve your website's technical SEO performance. If you have any questions about how to audit your website each quarter, or if you have any questions about the things that you're finding as you audit your website each quarter, please let me know. You can email me at matthew@elementive.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it educational, please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this from Elementive.